Greetings, programs. NeoMegaMan here, back again for part 4 of Let's Play Katawa Shoujo. Now, between this episode and the last, I took a little look at my cheat sheet for this particular LP, and yeah, despite the fact that it's going to make Act 1 take forever, I mean 5 ever even, I'm going to go ahead and take the road less traveled by. If you want to go straight into Shizune's path, you want to answer maybe, because it's a negative, or not a negative, it's a neutral answer that won't affect your path at all. But if you watch TK's LP, you know from his particular run on Emi's path that this answer is basically a definite guarantee that you'll start heading for Emi. But because of things, I'm going to go ahead and answer yes. Yeah, I promise. Definitely. He studies me for a moment, and then shrugs, smiling again. Okay, that's more like it. If you go to the school track tomorrow morning, you'll meet my spy, who probably has no qualms offering consultation to you if you want to jog a bit. Consultation? See you around. He leaves with a wave of his hand and no answer, and I walk to Rin, who has been waiting, idly leaning against the hallway wall and staring at the pale lighting fixtures in the ceiling. Even when I approach, she doesn't move her eyes off of them. Are you getting medications for your heart thingy? Were you listening? It comes out more accusatory than I intended, accidentally lashing out at her. But even so, I don't really want to start talking about it. I just met her. I don't know her. It's not her business. The nurse seems to be happily ignorant about confidentiality, too, talking about that kind of thing in public. It's not Rin's fault, is it? I look up at her, suddenly feeling a bit guilty, but Rin is just staring past my shoulder quizzically, her head tilted like a bird's. I don't know why this is so hard for me. It feels like there's some sort of inexplicable lock that prevents me from being more upfront about this. Yeah, they're for my heart. Will they make you better? No, not really. They just make me a little less worse. Rin keeps looking at me for a while longer, and she neither says anything further nor displays any kind of emotion I could discern. I'm thankful that she doesn't. I'm still not quite used to all this. At the hospital it was easy, but I still haven't sorted my feelings about having to live a normal life with this disability. We leave the main building, and Rin leads us onwards towards the dorm. We stop at the small patch of greenery in front of the dorm building. The dorm is built on slightly elevated ground, with a wall and few trees that everyone has to circle around every time they come or go. It's probably the only inconvenient design for the school. The entire wall, made of the same kind of bricks as the building itself, has been covered with some sort of a painting. Most of it is still mere sketches, quick lines drawn with black and white against the gray plastering that covers almost the entire length of the wall. But some places look a bit more finished. There are human faces and legs and hands. I can't quite say what the painting as a whole might portray. Stacks of what seem to be paint cans are arranged in piles on the ground beside the wall. See, the left side is hardly off the ground yet. It's because I couldn't get in the mood yesterday, so I gave up and went to meditate instead. Then it was suddenly morning. I have to work on it, but the guys from the art class are helping with the negative spaces and base surfaces whenever, which is a problem. It's easier to paint big areas if there are a lot of people, with hands. The reach is better, and it's faster too. She goes on a tangent of a tangent, waving a little with her arm, or whatever of it there actually is, to demonstrate even though I got the point already. The white cotton of her sleeve flaps around, and it makes me think it could look a lot sadder than it does. But it makes me feel out of place, like almost every tangible reminder of the student base's special properties has in the past few days. This girl doesn't notice my dreary feelings, of course, or the fact that she lost me a while ago already and just keeps on blabbing. So that's why I'm trying to figure out if there's something I need to figure out, and then figure that out before it's too late and all hope is lost. Why would the hope be lost? Because paint has to be painted, and then it has to dry, and then it has to be painted over with another kind of paint. It takes time. She finally stops, apparently thinking she made some sort of statement that makes sense. I think it's best to start from the top. So this is your project? You did this? Yes. All of it? Yes. Nice. But I stumble with my words, suddenly feeling like I've walked straight into a minefield of political incorrectness. It's okay, you can say it. I probably won't get mad. I blush really hard. I don't really know what would be the right thing to say, if any. It feels that I'm way more sensitive than Rin is, though. This is really awkward. Don't you want to ask? How do you paint without hands? See, I'm an easy person to talk to, right? With my feet. I almost guessed that already, but isn't that hard to do? You're good at guessing. Anyway, I don't think it is, but maybe I'm used to it by now. I can't get my mind around the fact that she could be an artist, but seeing how adept she was at using her feet to eat, I figure painting might not be a problem either. Neither of us has anything more to add to the subject. The afternoon light works pretty well. I was afraid it would look too flat, but it's not like that after all. I think it's actually pretty interesting. I wanted to see what it looks like in dim light. Do you think it's flat? Well, paintings tend to be flat. Not like that flat. You know, flat. Like some people are. No substance, no meat where there should be some. I know a few girls who, okay, I get it. But I couldn't really tell. I'm not that good with art. I can't name many artists or artistic terms. So I don't really have anything to say. Rin shrugs her shoulders at that, saying, suit yourself. Without saying it, looks up at the sky as if trying to look for something up there. I didn't think I'd get any actual work done, but if you give me a hand with the paints, I could do a little before it's too dark. I wanted to get a halogen lamp like the ones they have at the sports track, but there aren't any. Rin sure is quick to recruit my help, as was Shizune. It really makes me feel that the festival is such a big project that every pair of hands is needed. Why not? I'm not really sure if I can be of any help, though. It's just mixing some paints. You can do that. Probably. You have motor control problems? Like, you know, those people who have some? Cerebral palsy, maybe? Not that I know of. I get it. Art thinking has nothing to do with that. She gives me a sly look for no reason. No, it doesn't. Let's do it then. God, she's so weirdly cute when she does that smile. So she sits on an empty wooden box and very naturally picks up a wide brush between the toes of her bare right foot. I open a few of the cans and pour some of the contents into shallow bowls for mixing. The thick paints flow lazily from the can into the bowl like syrup. I mix them, creating funny, hypnotic-looking swirl patterns that melt quickly into each other to form a new monotone hue. Rin sets to work every now and then asking me for a hand with something or the other. Finding different brushes is easy enough, but mixing the paints to the exact tone this girl apparently is seeing in her head is a frustrating ordeal. She wants precision down to the last milliliter before she's satisfied, but her instructions are obscure at best. Add half a splash of green. I crouch down and pick up the can of bright green. The other green, this green. I carefully pour some of the other green paint into a mixing bowl. No, that's almost a whole splash. More white. Is green a good color to add? No idea, you're the artist here. A hint of a smile appears in the corners of her mouth. Do you lack an opinion? No, it's just that I have no idea. It's okay. I just got an idea. Add more white. With this exclamation, I pour a minuscule amount of white into the bowl and mix it. It looks slightly whiter. That's not good. It has to be like the color when you wake up and you know that you saw the meaning of life in your dream but can't remember it. Maybe it's yellow. Despite the impossibility of mixing a color like the change of seasons or any other nonsense that's being imposed on me, I find myself enjoying it more than I thought I would. Seeing a painting being born on the plastered wall feels like magic. I spend the moments I have between mixing paints crouching down and on the paving and just looking at her work. It feels slightly intrusive at first, like breaking some imaginary intimacy, but Rin doesn't seem to mind it the least bit. Maybe it's just in my head. Her entire presence emits a completely different air as she patiently works the details, adding layers of paint on top of other layers of paint, steadily moving her foot across the wall to add new shapes. When I manage to produce a passable mixture of paint, the rare smile on her face is oddly rewarding. Apart from the few words when discussing paint mixes, neither of us says a word for the longest time. And even those short discussions soon evolve into a shorthand, both of us developing and using weird impromptu code words for various paints and hues. As if there was some need to conserve words and breath and sound. Hey, look, progress. We stay there late into the evening until it becomes too dark to paint properly. Man, I could have kept going. Oh well. We'll do it now. We'll keep going now. The sound of an alarm pulls me out of a fitful slumber and into the unpleasant state of wakefulness. I linger under the blanket for a few minutes, gathering energy to rise up while making excuses as for why I already haven't. Honestly, I wouldn't mind staying here for all day. School is surprisingly exhausting after a long pause, and the culture shock still hasn't faded, I think. Still, despite getting an impression that skipping class is easy here, I don't think they were going to let me get away that easily. And the nurse is bound to keep breathing down my neck with the talk of exercising as well. So eventually I do rise up, swallow the morning medications, and put on my old soccer clothing. Thanks to my condition, I was exempted from taking part in gym classes at Yamaku, so I didn't get issued a gym outfit. I'd order some to cover such a contingency, but wearing my old soccer clothes is kind of nostalgic. I can't use them for that anymore, so maybe they can get a new life this way. A bit like me. After all, if I'm going to start taking care of myself, I can't afford to slack around. I'll start from the basics. Basics which include keeping the rest of my body in shape along with what little I can do to strengthen my heart. Maybe then I can go back to something approaching a normal life, or at least something where I'm less likely to fall over dead any minute. I'm surprised to discover I'm not the only person at the track. Not just that, but it's a face I've seen before. A face we've all seen before. The prosthetic leg girl who bowled me over in the hallway yesterday is running on the track lively like a half-mechanical gazelle. What was her name again? It was a short one, but I can't remember. She seems to be running laps at a somewhat easy lope, her prosthetic legs clacking rhythmically on the hard track surface. I wonder what reason she has for running this early in the morning. Maybe it's something akin to mine, and the nurse is oppressing the poor girl to jog just like he's oppressing me. I certainly wouldn't be here if it weren't for my health, and his prompting me to do so. And even with things being like they are, it's only because I wanted to get it out of the way early. The fact that I would be less likely to encounter someone who would witness my pitiful attempts to get in shape was merely a happy accident. I'd leave, but it seems that my former assailant noticed me on her last lap. She waves at me cheerfully and jogs over. Good morning. Your name is Hisao, right? She grins, seemingly pleased that she remembered my name. You may not remember me. Emmy, I knocked you over in the hall yesterday. Missy Barazaki. She imitates Misha imitating Shizune, failing to get the same kind of subdued lilt into her high-pitched voice. How can I forget such a blunt introduction? Emmy has the decency to look vaguely apologetic for a moment before giggling. I can't help myself when I get it, I giggle at some of these things in the game. Yeah, sorry about that. Again. Well, so long as you don't make a habit out of it, I suppose I'll be fine. Great! I'm not sure she realized I was joking. So the spy consultant the nurse was talking about, is that actually you? That's right. Oh. I was expecting someone from the nursing staff, to be honest. What, are you saying I don't look like I could be a spy? No, this is more like a relief. I was afraid he would have someone watch my every move. Unless you're here to do exactly that. Nope, I'm here for my own reasons. The nurse just asked me if I'd seen a messy-haired transfer student who looks like he's kind of lost around the track. So why are you down here? Emmy strikes a dramatic pose. Training! For what? Track! Ah, I see. You're on the track team, then. Emmy nods enthusiastically. Yep, I'm one of the better runners, too. And so modest. Hey, you should join up. It's good exercise, you know? I think that much activity is probably out of the question for me. Nah, I'm not even sure I like running all that much. Plus, I'm just not into organized sports, you know? It's true, I never even really got that much into soccer. I mean, I'd run around with my friends and all, but that was really the only reason I played. It wasn't for the glory to be found in the field, that's for sure. Emmy seems to understand my meaning. I see. Not into that whole organization thing. But now that you're here, I guess we're gonna run together, huh? What? Sure, I guess. Emmy seems pleased. Are you gonna warm up? Real men don't warm up. Oh no, you should always warm up. Bad Hisao. She scolds me enthusiastically, but then smiles and leans closer. I hate warming up too. She laughs suddenly. Heck, I don't even have to stretch my legs. As if to confirm her statement, she bounces up and down a couple of times, giving a passing impression of standing on a pair of springs. Her leg blades seem to be quite elastic. Let's go! So we both take off around the track, and I can immediately see that she wasn't lying about being good at running. Emmy moves fluidly, throwing herself into the run with a sort of wild abandon. I find myself concentrating more on running properly. Hands spread, right? Something about hitting on the balls of your feet rather than the heels? I try to match my stride to Emmy's, but it's pretty difficult. Apparently I'm not very good at it. Maybe Emmy could help me with that sometime. I'm really not feeling up to more than a couple of laps today, and slow to a walk pretty quickly. Emmy keeps running, and doesn't seem to notice I've stopped until she passes me a second time. She quickly skids to a halt, breathing steadily in contrast to my own somewhat gasping demeanor. Finished already? I hang my head ruefully. Yeah, I'm not in very good shape right now. Emmy nods and then grins at me again. She seems to do a lot of smiling. Well, the important thing is you started, right? Next time you just have to try to hold out longer, and then longer, and longer, and eventually you'll be great. I'll keep that in mind then. But I think right now I'm gonna go get ready for class. Shouldn't you? Emmy shrugs unconcernedly. Nah, I got plenty of time. I notice that she's not wearing a watch. Are you sure? Another careless shrug. Not really, but I gotta finish my routine. See you later, Hisao. Yeah. See ya. I'm not sure whether this morning's experiment was a success or a failure, but I'll admit that I do feel slightly good about getting out there this morning. And like Abby said, I just need to keep at it in order to get better, right? Practice makes perfect, or something like that. It's nice to at least feel like I've taken some semblance of control over my own health. Oops. I have to try to keep this up. I head back to the dorms to wash and change into my uniform, trying to resist the urge to take a really long, hot shower. I'm tired from all the running, so I just want to unwind, but I don't want to break my slowly building routine of getting to school before the morning rush. After taking a long shower anyway, I dry myself off and get out of the stall to put on my clothes. Oh no. Out of nowhere, a shadow appears within the mist, looming and radiating malicious intent. It bursts through the fog and is really perverted. What's up? What the hell are you doing here? You scared me. What's your problem? I should be asking you that. I've been looking for you all over the place, man. What do you mean all over the place? I want to ask if he's been looking for me like that, stark naked, but hold my tongue. I finally realize I'm still naked too and hold up my shirt in front of me, but Kenji doesn't seem to notice a thing. His glasses are fogged up, but then why doesn't he wipe them off? Is his vision so bad it's like he's perpetually seeing through fog? You know, your room and... yeah, that's it. Hey, I mean, I still had to get up, though. Whatever, it's not important. Can I borrow some money? He puts on an innocent face and looks away, trying very hard to look casual. It doesn't work. He's as transparent as his window pane-sized glasses. Talking neutrally like this, wearing nothing feels awkward. Actually, somehow it's even more awkward to be naked in front of someone when they can't see me being naked, to say nothing the fact that he's naked as well. I try to brush the feeling away with little success. Money? Sure. Awesome. Wait, why do you need it? Can't you just give it to me because I had the goodwill not to run through your pockets while you were in the shower? I could have, but I exercised restraint. And in the end, isn't it the thought that counts? Come on, be a pal. This makes no sense. If it's the thought that counts, I should withhold payment, since his thoughts were so clearly impure and his intentions were probably even more sinister, since he can't tell me what they are. I say as much to him. I'm offended, man. But if that's your game, then fine, I guess I have no choice. I want to order a pizza, and I already have most of the cost of the pizza. I just need your help for the rest. I get some of that pizza too, right? No. Are you serious? Yeah, I'd give you some, but you have class. You don't have time to eat a pizza. What about you? I'm not going to class. I have to wait for the pizza and then pay the guy, and then eat it. It's not easy. You have to obtain the pizza stealthily. If you don't, everyone will see you, and the pizza will ask for a slice. It's a hard world out there. Everyone wants a piece, and then you're left pizzaless in an unforgiving world. It's happened before, it's how I know. Every day I plan my vengeance, so that when people who wrong me order a pizza, I'll be there, ever vigilant. Kenji strikes a dramatic pose, completely without irony, despite the fact that he's buck naked. But yeah, I only need like 400 yen. Please? You're my only hope. I can't go outside and buy my own pizza, it's too far. I try not to go out unless it's absolutely necessary. Let me tell you what happened the last time I went out without carefully planning it out in advance. I was outside, I can't remember what I was doing, something. Standing, maybe wondering how I got there. And then out of nowhere, it happened. Like a flash of lightning, splitting the sky, like how you split a sandwich into 2 equal pieces to make it more manageable to hold and eat, a bird crapped on my head. It was the second most shocking moment of my life. What was the first? I know, but he ignores me and keeps going. I want to grab him and shake him. Is he just trying to keep momentum? I'll go with that, even if it's more likely he just didn't hear me. It was like the openings to some kind of anime show. You know how there's always a part where the main dude is fighting his rival and they fly at each other and clash with swords like there's this big dramatic colored auras in Zoom? It was like that, but with poo. Okay. So yeah, I need some money. Please, don't leave me hanging, man. I only need like 1,000 yen. I thought it was 400. Okay. What? I'll pay you back, I swear. You better. That's what it means to borrow stuff. I don't know when I'll be able to pay you back. You have 1 week. Kenji winces and makes a noise like a dying cow, a particularly disturbing fact given that his baton is conducting freely. You're not supposed to be so tight-ass about money between brothers in arms, man. Men have it bad enough as it is. Did you know that when male porn stars only make about half what female porn stars make? That doesn't mean anything unless you're a porn star. And with that little bitty thing, there's no way. So maybe I am a porn star on the side, struggling to make ends meet as I fight the feminist agenda, and you can't even spot me your crumbs, you bastard. Nobody understands. Nobody. Wouldn't feminists be against pornography in the first place? This feminist agenda stuff again? This stuff is important. I can see that you don't give a shit, but this is serious. Feminists are a dangerous enemy, make no mistake. You take them lightly and you'll wake up in the morning with a knife in your back. Bam! Out of nowhere. How do you wake up in the morning if someone stabbed you in your sleep? Women are terrible at stabbing things. I thought you just said don't take them lightly. Well, I mean, don't take them lightly for the big things. Individually, they're not a threat. But if there was some kind of war, like a big war with men on one side and the feminist forces on the other side, it'd be pretty ugly. And that day will come when the feminists come out of their central top-secret worldwide feminist headquarters and say, "It's on now, motherfuckers!" Oh, God, Kenji, why? You're being ridiculous. There's no big worldwide feminist headquarters building. Where would they even hide that? I mean, it'd have to be massive. You couldn't hide that on Earth. Someone would notice a big fortress with only women in it. Who said it was on Earth? I turn away from Kenji and start practicing frowning faces in a mirror, so that I can figure out what kind of frown will best express my emotions. He can't see me from the distance anyway, which unfortunately means that he just keeps on ranting without regard to sense or sensibility. Yeah, there's a war going on, a war not many people know about, but it's a great one that will one day boil over and encompass all of the known world, and then we'll have to pick sides. We'll have to make a stand. In fact, it's happening right now. Imagine it, the bloody battlefield. A vicious conflict without end. I almost gave up when I thought this cause was silly, when I grew tired of the bleakness of our fight, when I mistook the time the power went out for a feminist raid. I thought the end was near. But then I realized that if I gave up, it'd all be over. I was like, whoa. and I knew it had to get serious, because I'm the last sane man in an insane world. It's about duty. Must be a pretty crappy movement if it all hinges on one naked guy ranting in a bathroom and another naked guy. So can I have the money? He's blocking the way out. It's getting cold because I'm still naked, and I want to go to class, so I have to agree to spot him the money. Awesome. Thanks, dude. We should go bowling later on. Bowling? Yeah, it's the ultimate sport. There are almost no women bowlers either, making it also the manliest sport. What about American football? No women play American football. Dumbass. Should I wear my pink bowling shirt with matching shoes or the pastel green with flower accents? There are bowling clothes? Maybe. Anyway, you better pay me back. I can pay you back in stuff, right? I don't have the time to ask him to elaborate on what that means. I don't know. I have to get to class and you're kind of in the way. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I don't want to hold you up. Just have some stuff to do myself. Time has come. The time is for what? I just like saying that. Okay, now the time has really come. For what? I have to use the bathroom. Get out of it. I was just going to. What does that mean? It's a big bathroom. So, I have to be alone or I can't go. The pressure. Okay, what if someone else comes in? I'll think of something. I give him my practiced frown, and it looks kind of silly reflected in his glasses. He either doesn't notice or doesn't see, anyway, so I get dressed and run back to my room, feeling as though an eternity has passed since I woke up. That is time I will never get back. I'll get him for this somehow. Unfortunately, folks, there's really no way that we can get revenge on Kenji for this. But right now I have to get to class. I'm the first person in class today, although I think I'm a little too early. Then again, sitting here alone for 20 minutes sure beats having to suffer that time with Kenji. The combination of fatigue, frustration, and boredom starts to make me feel very tired. I black out for a second, waking up my head hits the surface of my desk. Rubbing my forehead, I realize this is as good a reason as any to stay up for now and stop coming to class so early later. Eventually, I hear a tapping noise outside in the hallway, and Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway. She's not in this class, so she must have some other business. Maybe she's looking for Hanako. Lily stops at the door, looking hesitant as if she were a vampire who can't come in unless invited. I consider doing so because she looks rather lonesome standing there. She steps in of her own accord, though, after straightening her skirt and shirt collars if it was some importance to look prim when entering our classroom. Excuse me. She calls into the quiet classroom with a probing, delicate voice. I realize the silence might unnerve her because of her blindness, so I break it. Good morning, Lily. Hisao? Good morning. I didn't hear you come in. I wonder if she thinks it's suspicious that I didn't say anything to her before. It's likely. If I were to tell too big a lie now, it would sink me. Well, I was already in here, just asleep until now. Oh, have you seen Hanako today by any chance? No, she seems to come in only just before the bells ring. Or after that. Do you want me to tell her something for you? No, it's fine. It's strange, but I think we're the only two people in the school right now. I didn't hear anyone else on my way here. I shouldn't have gotten up so early today, I guess. You're chastising yourself for doing something that other people should? Punctuality is a good thing. I think so, anyway. It's a very busy morning today. The festival's coming up soon, and today is the deadline for event registration, budget reports, and other official paperwork. It could be that everyone is trying to complete the necessary forms at the last minute. Maybe that's why it's so quiet today. Hi! Oh, great. This won't end well. Misha pops into the room with Shizune as if on cue, shouting with a loudness that makes Lily visibly flinch. Hi, Hee-chan! Hi. Look, it's the class representative! Hello! Lily smiles, probably amused by Misha's or Shizune's use of the word look. Good morning. Of course, you're not the representative of this class, right? I'm not. Lily seems a little more guarded in her answers to Shizune than she was with me the other day. I guess they really don't get along at all. Then I realize that Lily might not actually know that Shizune is present. She's trying to detect whether or not she is, to know who she's talking to. For all she knows, she's talking to Misha, but knowing that she and Shizune are practically inseparable, she might expect Shizune to be the one who actually talks. Damn, how complicated. I decided to help Lily out for my own peace of mind more than anything else. You're here early, Shizune. You were here even earlier than us! Misha puffs out her chest angrily. Why is she getting angry? Does she feel emotions on Shizune's behalf too? It's not all that weird, though, that Shizune didn't like my little comment. It's true, I was here earlier than them, so saying something like that could definitely be misinterpreted as anything. Especially to Shizune, who doesn't have the benefit of hearing tone to gauge intent. Before I can start weighing whether or not I should apologize, Shizune's already moved on. Class rep, it's a good thing you're here. We have to talk. I don't think she means talk. The festival's coming up in 3 days, right? Every other class has already handed in their projected budget reports for the events. Even the first years, except you. There's still time to hand them in, isn't there? Today! The deadline is today! You're certainly taking your time, aren't you? If I had it my way, I'd have had all the necessary paperwork days ago, but someone had to say the deadline. Please extend it. Yes, that was me. Planning something on this scale is not a small task, and a week is a too small time frame to expect a whole class to work out such a complex issue completely. Do you want to know what's harder than distributing funds for one class's event? Handling the same matter for every class in the school, and then some. The one who does that is me. Misha puts her hands on her hips and stands up straight. Wow, she really is getting into the role. Lily doesn't look like she's very amused, though. Hey, Shizune, aren't you being a little too hard on her? There's still a whole day left. Please, Hisao, it's all right. Lily seems happy I'm taking her side, but a bit conflicted that I might not think she can take care of herself. If this is about the budget, then I'm disappointed you think that I've forgotten about it. I understand how important it is. Then, can I have it, please? Shizune, she might not have it on her at this exact second. It's not here right now. I asked 2 students to take care of it for me, students from my class. She emphasizes the last sentence, much to my surprise. She knows about Shizune and Misha's efforts to rope me into the student council. I guess word must have gotten around, so now she's using me as ammo against Shizune. This just gets better and better. It was your responsibility. A budget report isn't something that should be delegated away. As class rep, it's your job to be on top of things. This kind of disregard for proper procedure is really just terrible. They completed it, being capable of doing so, but the students have been sick recently, so they could not come to school and give it back to me. If you want, I will apologize on their behalf for getting sick. Okay. Although Misha misses Lily's little jab entirely, Shizune doesn't, and she seems torn between being offended for Lily's daring and jumping for joy at the prospect of a challenge. Lily, don't they live here at the school? That's a 5-minute walk, you know. What could they possibly have that prevents them from taking 5 minutes out of their busy lives to drop off something that will affect the enjoyment of their entire class? Lily opens her mouth to say something, but Shizune closes the gap between them and starts signing furiously, waving her hands around like an orchestra conductor. Misha tries her best to convey the same passion, but can't seem to lose her normal cheerful tone. The result is interesting and somewhat surreal. And what's with that attitude? It's not like something, or it's not that it's, or I said that it's not something you should be delegating away. Are you the class representative, or aren't you? Tell me the names of those 2 students. They should have your job if you can't even handle something this simple. One form isn't the full extent of what I'm supposed to take care of. Lily's tone is growing slightly impatient, but she's doing a good job of not letting Shizune see how unsettled she's becoming. She's playing her cards close to the chest. Shizune, on the other hand, wraps her fingers cheerfully along the edge of her glasses, knowing Lily can neither see nor hear how excited she is. Of course, you do so much, class rep. It must be so difficult being you. Lily tightens her lips at Misha's words, clearly understanding the intent behind them, even though Misha delivers them without even a hint of the sarcasm which they were meant to have. Shizune and Lily don't like each other that much is clear, but this seems a little much. It seems like Lily has had enough and is ready to push back. Ooh, it's on, bitches. I was actually just discussing the budget report before you came by. You must be very talented to have finished all your student council duties so quickly that you can track me down to make sure I don't forget my own. Are you accusing me of slacking off? It seems like you're confusing me with yourself. I don't think so. That'd be a very difficult thing for me to do, comparing myself to you. You're right. The difference between us is like heaven and hell. And it's not hard to guess which one you might represent. The air between them ripples with the heat of their enmity. Well, not really. They can't disguise it anymore, though. Even Misha looks like she's beginning to understand the real nature of this conversation. Hee-chan, don't you slack off either. What are you talking about? Aren't you taking part in the festival, Hee-chan? You are, aren't you? Then I hope you're going to do a lot more to make sure it goes smoothly than this person. I don't understand why Shizune is suddenly getting mad at me. Okay. Now, I would cut it off before we make this decision gate, but I kinda want to get a little further first. So, don't drag me into this. I've done my part. Why am I being dragged into this again? I've done more than enough, I think. If you're angry with Lily, that has nothing to do with me. Now wait just a second. Are you implying the president is more right in scolding me than yourself? Ah, damn, I could have worded that better. No, I don't know about that, but, I mean... What are you saying, Hee-chan? It's just that I hardly think it's fair if you... I hardly think it's fair you can say that, seeing that I've helped you guys. The mood has changed. This is like a showdown between two gunfighters now. Well, it was like that before, too, but this time Shizune's focus is on me. And so is Lily's, though she keeps quiet. I'm afraid I've inadvertently pissed her off, much to my chagrin. Are you saying I'm wrong? What a dangerous situation. It's too early to argue with you. Yes, I think it's unfair of you to get on my case. Hee-chan, you want too much. But you have a point. Okay. You're not lazy, Hee-chan. Ha ha ha! Shizune pushes her glasses up with her thumb, almost approvingly. That's good. If you're not useless, you shouldn't let anyone say you are. But the next time I say it, it'll really be because you're disappointing me like Miss Class Rep here, so don't let this go to your head. Lily takes the jab quietly, a venomous visage frozen on her face. Class Rep, Shi-chan says don't forget that report, please. I won't. Would that be all? Yep. Then good day to you all. Her voice would cut the air of the classroom itself in half if it were more tangible. Lily leaves the room, understandably in a bad mood, but still managing to be as poised and calm as usual. Shizune, you really did go a little too far today. It's true, Shi-chan, just a little. If I had been expecting Shizune to grudgingly admit that I have a point there as well, I think I was expecting too much. She doesn't respond. Shi-chan thinks you should mind your own business. Hee-chan, we have a few last-minute things to take care of before class. We might be late, so can you please cover for us? Yeah, sure, why not? Perfect, yay! Okay, thanks, Hee-chan. They walk outside, even though there are only 10 minutes left before the bell will ring, signaling the start of class. Hanako doesn't come to the morning class at all, leaving her seat looking empty and lonely in the back of the classroom. I have to tell her that Lily was looking for her if I see her later. After the events of this morning, class is pretty boring in comparison. I turn the pages of my textbook lazily. Gee, it sure is boring around here. We've been covering the same amount of pages each day, so reading ahead is more or less giving myself a preview of what tomorrow's lesson will be about. The clock at the front of the room sounds unbearably loud. The teacher hasn't said anything in over 7 minutes, instead opting to cover the board in rows and rows of equations taken directly from the book. The rhythmic clashing of chalk on blackboard seems to synchronize perfectly with the ticking of the clock. I start to copy down the equations just to pass the time, not noticing Misha's head poking over my shoulder until she's almost on top of me. What are you doing? I try to strike a balance enough between being quiet enough not to draw attention for myself, but loud enough to draw hers. What are you doing, Hee-chan? No. What are you doing, Hee-chan? Panic shoots through me as Misha starts talking at her normal volume, and I sputtered out a hasty reply, still keeping my voice down despite the fact that she just blew any hope of being discreet I may have had away. I'm copying down that stuff. What are you doing? Why so loud? Oh, really? But it's all in the book! That's why no one else is copying it down. I know. Why are you so loud? Why are you so quiet, Hee-chan? It's hard to hear you. I look around, seeing if anyone else is noticing our conversation. It's pretty obvious that everyone has, even the teacher. Shizune smiles coyly, and I start to wonder if Misha is doing this because she told her to. Is it because of what happened between her and Lily earlier? This is what I get for trying to be reasonable, for trying to take the middle path? Shizune is way too prideful, although by now I should know to expect that kind of behavior from her. Why are you doing this? Huh? Misha's totally oblivious to the awkward stare the teacher is giving both of us while trying to balance her textbook on one finger. For a brief second, it looks as if things could get ugly, but the teacher simply looks away as if it's not worth the trouble. I guess this is a good thing, and slump back into my seat in relief. The rest of the day passes uneventfully, and this time I'm able to appreciate that it does. When the bell rings, I'm not in a hurry, so I stay for a while, reviewing what we covered in class today. I prefer to leave last anyway, so I don't have to deal with crowding in the hallways. I notice Shizune and Misha have also stayed behind, talking to someone from another class. Shizune is signing so fast that her hands make noises like swords cutting through the air. Misha is trying desperately to keep up, but it's clear she can barely manage to even understand her. I put my head down. Whatever they're discussing, it looks like serious business, probably way over my head. Not just that, but Shizune also seems angry, although it could just be her normal severity making it appear so. Shizune signs to the point where her wrists crackle and Misha struggles to spit it out in word form. Sometimes she trips over herself like she's dealing with tongue twisters, and then on the top of that she has to sign back everything the other girl says. Seems like a rough job. Misha looks tired, like she's about to faint. Luckily for her, their business is soon finished and the girls sit down on their seats again. Ugh, I'm so tired. She's hanging her head limply on her desk, looking exhausted. Festival preparations must be tough for you. Indeed, the people in this school seem to be taking the festival very seriously. Whenever I see people idling about before and after classes, they're always talking about their plans for it. It's kind of neat to see everyone being so enthusiastic about it. I'm probably the only one who doesn't have something to do. Shizune starts signing at me and Misha perks up, looking at her hands with slightly unfocused eyes. She signs with harsh, heavy, dramatic strokes. Misha translates her signing into speech for me. She does it so well it's almost like Shizune is actually speaking, transmitting her thoughts directly through Misha. Well, we're in the student council, you know, so we're pretty busy. Sarcasm? Huh? The tone of Shizune's actions make me think that she is speaking with disdain, but Misha interprets it normally, replacing whatever intent may have been there with her own chipper twist on things. It's still disorienting. I don't think I'll ever get used to it. Never mind. How could I forget with you two trying to get me to join at least twice a day? Haha! But Hee-chan, some could say the work is too much. It'd be nice if students were to show a little more support for their leadership, some appreciation for the ones who are working so hard to make it all possible. Maybe, for example, a little help. That's asking too much, is it? Yep, help would be appreciated from students like you. If students would show their dedication and school spirit and offer some help, well, I don't exactly need it. But I wouldn't necessarily refuse it, so it would be nice if someone would. Oh, hello. I look over my shoulder and see Hanako peering timidly into the classroom, most of her body hidden behind the door. Hey, playing delinquent again? Hanako blushes hard at Misha's straightforward jab, even if it was only in jest. Shizune stares at her probingly, causing Hanako to look down and start backing away to the point where only her fingers can be seen wrapped nervously around the edge of the door. Maybe she's showing her dislike of Hanako by her association of her dislike of Lily. It appears so, and Hanako knows it as well. They seem to have momentarily forgotten about trying to get me to stay for the rest of the day. What is it, Hanako? Has Lily been here? Sorry, Sato is not here. She, came by in the morning, though. Hanako keeps looking uneasily at Shizune, who stares back with her usual studying gaze. What is she trying to do? Of course Shizune isn't going to look away, and she's intimidating enough as it is, so I can only imagine how terrified Hanako would be. It's a little funny, though, watching Hanako's reaction to Shizune's normal behavior. This is what happens when two people of two different extremes meet, it seems. Do you know where she is? If she has any sense in her head, she's in her classroom working on their festival project. But who knows where that woman is loitering at? She might be slacking off somewhere. What a useless woman. Hanako nods quickly and retreats with haste, obviously to avoid any further contact with Shizune. Unfortunately, this turns their attention fully back to me. But Hichan is not useless, right? Right? He said so himself. I can see where this is going, and I do not want any part of it, not after that experience yesterday. Well, good luck with your preparations. I start packing my bag, ready to make a break for the exit. Unfortunately, I'm all the way on the other side of the room. The short distance to the doorway seems like a vast no-man's land to me now. Shizune and Misha both start maneuvering slowly in front of me, cutting off my route of escape in an unsettlingly cautious way that makes me think of ship-to-ship combat. I think Shi-chan is saying you should help us, Hichan. Gee, I wouldn't know. She's so subtle. But that's the intent, so please? I can't keep up. We actually have to build stalls for the festival. Almost all of them by ourselves. Can you believe that? Hammering boards together over and over again for hours? It's really hard. I'm so used to doing it, I was so used to it, I was doing swinging motions in class, and I didn't even know it! She bangs her desk a few times, imitating the hammer blows. It's so repetitive, I can't stand it. And yesterday, I actually hammered all the boards on top of each other. It was just a stack of boards all nailed together, and then I had to take it apart and do it all over again, and I got yelled at and laughed at. So... She clamps a hand down on my shoulder and grins, quickly running her tongue across her teeth mischievously. Do you have any plans for today, Hichan? I wonder if you do. Sure, I have plans. Really? You're gonna help us, right? I notice her hands are moving constantly. She's signing everything we say so Shizune can understand. Shizune is being somewhat quiet today. Is she still angry? Well, probably at least a little bit. I can see it in her eyes. But this could also just be another way of trying to guilt me into lending her a hand. I have to find a way out of this. Hey, I should go now. To the library. You know, homework. I should get going, shouldn't I? I have to be diligent because I'm a new student. So I have to make a good first impression, right? Yeah. See you later, then. I turn to bolt for the door, but Shizune is blocking my path, her arms crossed over her chest and a stern expression on her face. She wags her finger tauntingly and begins signing to Misha with the manner of a squad leader giving directions to fellow soldiers. It didn't seem like you were in any rush to get to the library, Hichan. That's right, Shi-chan. It does seem like he was probably going to slack off for the rest of the day. Haha, you're surrounded. Let's go to the student council room. She lets out a chuckle and then breaks into laughter. I'm sorry, Hichan. I feel bad, but this works out for everyone, right? That's right, Shi-chan. Yes, that's a good point, too. Yes, this is beneficial to everyone. It solves all our problems. Yeah. I also thought he'd be more appreciative of our efforts. They pull themselves closer as if they're about to pounce. Hey, guys, 2-on-1 isn't very fair, is it? She keeps looking forward, impassive, and then gives a sinister smile. Come on, we have a lot of work to do. Let's go to the student council room. Gee, I don't know. Misha laughs. Deja vu? She chortles before letting out another laugh. You know, my horoscope said it'd be a good day for me today. And now that you're gonna help... Shizune signs quickly to her. Right, I mean, now that you've decided to help us completely of your own free will, I'll be able to take it easy. Lucky, huh? I open my mouth to say something and then realize there's no point. I refocus on trying to think of a way out of this. No, their actions are clearly deliberate. There's no sense in attempting to reason with them. You can't reason with madmen. I frown, and they don't even notice my discontent, further proving my suspicions. They seem pretty relaxed now. I guess they think they've already won, so they're letting their guard down. It's kind of arrogant. They pass forward in front of me as they move through the doorway. I stealthily walk backwards back into the classroom as they step into the hallway, turning towards the stairwell. I let out a sigh of relief and quickly pack the rest of my stuff so I can make my escape. The classroom door slams shut. That wasn't very nice there. Haha, she really got us good though, didn't he, Shi-chan? Right. What was that about? I thought you said you'd help us. Then you bailed on us, and you thought you'd get away with it, didn't you? The indignant expression vanishes as she begins to laugh hysterically, calming down, only after an aggravated look from Shizune. Oh, yeah, you thought you could get away with it, but a criminal always returns to the scene of the crime. I didn't even manage to leave the classroom in the first place. No, wait, I didn't even agree to help in the first place. Not very bright, are you, criminal? Thinking you can just shirk your duties like that. How low, He-chan? I'm a criminal? What did I do? What's the charge? What am I guilty of? That's for the courts to decide, criminal. I don't think we have to tell you that. Besides, you're the criminal here. You know what you did. You ever read The Trial by Kafka? No, what's that, He-chan? What does that have to do with this? I read it a few months ago. It's about these people who run a kangaroo court on a guy who just wants to live his life. They refuse to leave him alone, and he can't fight the power. He-chan, what does that have to do with anything? Hey, what does that mean? She turns back to me after signing back and forth for a lengthy amount of time. You know, we're both a little disappointed in you. You've let us down, Hisao. Drop the ball. Left us hanging and out in the cold. Is that any way to treat a person? To run away from your responsibilities? To abandon your comrades? We think you owe it to us to honor your commitment. What? I didn't commit to anything! My breathing catches in my throat and I momentarily start choking. That's not true, He-chan. You said you're not useless. You definitely said it. Yes, definitely. We're calling you on those words now. You better prepare to show you're not a useless guy. Your honor will be soiled forever if you try to get out of this. So for the rest of the day, we're going to hang out together, just the three of us, and work hard. You can't fool us. You should be happy. You're doing your school a great service, and ask not what your school can do for you, but what you can do for your school. How depressing. Cheer up, He-chan. She slaps me hard across the back with enough strength to knock the air out of my lungs. I gasp to breathe. Besides, aren't you happy to you get to spend the day with two cute girls? I guess they're right. I did blurt those words out. Accepting my fate like a fucking dumbass, I followed them to the student council room. Okay, I'm gonna point this out here and right now. I fucking hate this part of the story. I mean, it's nothing personal. I really hate how they literally just Shanghai Hisao into joining the student council at this point. Because, let's fucking face it, folks, he's gonna join. He's totally friggin' lame at this particular subject. And Shizune, conniving psychopath, they're trying to play her to the tsundere trope, and I don't like it. I absolutely hate tsundere characters, and Shizune's no exception. She's literally like the least favorite of the paths in this game, and it just bothers me. She gets a little better later on, but right now, she's just gonna piss me off to no end. Mostly because I've known people like her. And hammer the final nail into the stall. It took all of the afternoon, and dinner time is nearly over, but it's done now. Shizune pulls out a roll of measuring tape and a small level and inspects it thoroughly. She smiles, looking pleased, and motions for Misha to come over. She says you did a very good job. In fact, you might actually have a gift for this. Wow, I'm impressed too. That was fast. Have you done this before? Nope, never. Never before. And I never will again. Well, our quota for the day is 6 stalls. In a few minutes, me and Shi-chan should finish this one. That means 4 more to go. We're making good time, she says. Isn't this great fun? What? I can think of a million things I'd rather do, but I suppose everyone has to do their share for the festival, even me. You're both lucky that I'm helping you two out, even if I really didn't want to. Or if I really didn't want to, I could have gotten out of it easily. Really, Hee-chan? Shi-chan thinks you're just running your mouth. Japanese people have no fight-or-flight reflex, Hee-chan. Shizune tensed her fingers deviously. Definitely. If you really wanted to escape, you would have taken immediate action. That's how you know someone is serious, when they have no doubts, no regrets. Maybe it was a bad idea to tell you that, since now Hee-chan knows what to do next time. But just the fact that she's alright with telling me this shows me that she doubts I'll be able to act on it. That only makes me want to do it more, and I almost want the opportunity to do so to rise again, but if that happens, she might get me again somehow. Again, I hate this particular trope. Shi-chan says she's happy now. Well, hoopity fucking do. Much later in the evening, we're looking at 6 completed stalls. With the pride of a job well done, we sit back and admire the fruits of our labor, not sharing a word between us, just admiring. I realize I'm feeling quite thirsty. Hey, isn't there a vending machine out in the hall? They're on all day, right? Yeah, the drinks are very cheap, too. We usually get something from there on days like this. I dig around in my pocket and find a single 100-yen coin. Is this enough? I'm feeling kind of thirsty. 100 yen? You can get any drink in the machine with that. That's good. That's very good. Ah, wait a second. What is it, Shi-chan? You wanted to get you a drink too? Shi-chan, you really helped us out today. So today I mean Shi-chan, will treat you. Hey, what about me? What would you like? I'm feeling thirsty myself. So am I. I don't know. Anything's fine. I guess the melon soda? Hey, wait, Shi-chan, I also want a drink. Aw. You know, it's times like this I think she's just teasing me. That's probably it. I'm sure she'll get you something, right? Yeah, she usually does, but you never know. Shizune comes back with 2 melon sodas and a can of fruit juice. She hands me one of the sodas and the other to Misha. Thanks, Shi-chan. I had total faith that you'd get me one. I knew I could count on you. Except not. But how'd you know this was what I wanted? I usually get something else. What? You know I'd want to try it? And that I like these kinds of childish things? I gesture my thanks to Shizune, who smiles and nods. Hey, Hee-chan. Yes? We've been spending a lot of time together. Already, in such a short time, we've done so much. We should both stop beating around the bush. What I'm trying to say is... It sounds like she's going to ask me out, but that can't be it. Nevertheless, my heart is beating like a jackhammer. Damn, this reminds me of another similar scene earlier this year. I try to say something, but my brains can't decide whether to stop her or to tell her to continue. I feel myself blushing all the way to the ears. What I'm trying to say is... Would you like to join the student council? What a disappointment. And I'm not even going to bother laughing like that. Did you think she wanted to ask you out, Hee-chan? More laughter. Shut up, Misha. I feel very embarrassed right now. I can feel myself getting even redder in the face. Shizune also tries to hide her blush after Misha translates, and then puts a few sheets of paper in front of me. So how about it? All the paperwork is right here. And you're sitting down anyway. You look very at home here, drinks and everything. What do you say? Whoops. Oh, yeah, the track, by the way, Ease. I think I've seen that one. I think we've seen that one before. She quiets down a little and asks again a little more solemnly. Hee-chan, what do you say? You don't exactly hate this, right? Well, I hate it. I'm more than a little surprised by this sudden change of tone. I don't really know how to react to it. For one thing, she isn't shouting uproariously with no regard for tact. Before, I'm sure she already knew that I was going to say no. This time, she seems actually serious. I think maybe you should join. Not just because we could use your help, but, well, you're hanging out with us anyway. I think Shi-chan would like it if you would join as well. It's not like you hate us or anything, right? It wouldn't hurt if you joined, and I'd appreciate it if you would. She seems to be having a hard time getting her words out, which is strange for someone as talkative as Misha. For some reason, I'm almost troubled by it. My eyes drift over to Shizune, who stares back at me tentatively, absent-mindedly cleaning her fingernails. If you don't want to join, I promise we won't ask again, but if you did, we would be really happy. Both Shizune and Misha seem unable to look me in the eye. I can't lie, the thought of being around two such cute girls is something that I couldn't possibly pass up, because you're a wuss, and you're an idiot. I'm not looking forward to this kind of work every day, but there should be less after the festival. At least, God, I hope so. Alright, I guess it can't hurt, so why not? Wonderful! Wonderful! Shizune tensed her fingers in satisfaction. She'll fill everything out, Hichan. Congratulations, you're officially a member of the student council now. Great. I'm not looking forward to a lot of work. To be honest, I've never done any student council activities before. But maybe it'll be a positive experience? Misha starts to clap, laughing exuberantly as she does. Congratulations, Hichan! And they just sort of repeat themselves a whole bunch. I get the message. I can't help but smile, finding such a display childishly cute. The student council is always busy, you know, but for today we're done. See you tomorrow, Hichan. We still have work left, so we'll be counting on you. I leave the room feeling totally wiped out. The grounds are totally deserted, and the school looks pretty ominous this late. The council office is the only window with any lights on anymore. Is this what the student council will be like? My body might not be able to take it. Adhering to the nurse's nagging voice in the back of my head, I set my alarm clock to wake me up early enough to go jogging again. And if I'm not mistaken... Oh, I made a promise and I'm going to keep it. Besides, Emmy's bound to rat on me if I don't show up. But it's not all that bad. Okay. This part has been going on for quite some time, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this off here. And next time on part 5 of Let's Play Katawa Shoujo, we'll go and actually get into the hard-to-get parts of this particular storyline. So, until then, ladies and gents, I am NeoMegaMan, signing out. End of line.